Community Development Authority.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to, by minute action, establish the public hearing dates just read. Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Councillor Bond. Any abstentions? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all councillors voting aye, the motion passes.
Council will now consider consent resolutions. Please read the consent resolutions by title only.
8A1, authorizing a contract for professional services between the City of Casper and Dynamic Controls Incorporated for the installation and configuration of door access controls for Metro Animal Services and the Police Department range. 8A2, authorizing a contract for professional services with Civil Engineering Professionals Incorporated for updating the 2016 Stormwater Utility Implementation Plan. 8A3, authorizing a procurement of goods agreement with Alpha Lavelle Incorporated for a sludge spiral heat exchanger for use at the Sam H. Hobbs Wastewater Treatment Plant. 8A4, authorizing change order number 1 to the agreement with Ramshorn Construction Incorporated for the Wolf Creek Road improvements, West 38th Street to CY Avenue, Phase 2 project. 8A5, authorizing an agreement with SNL Industrial LLC for the miscellaneous crosswalk replacements project. 8A6, approving a real estate purchase agreement and authorizing a quitclaim deed for closing on the sale of lots 1 through 4 Robertson Road addition to the City of Casper. 8A7, authorizing a contract for professional services with West Plains Engineering for the Recreation Center rooftop units replacement project. 8A8, authorizing a procurement of goods agreement with Dynamic Controls Incorporated for professional services for the thermal lens procurement project. And 8A9, authorizing the deduct change order number 1 with Grizzly Excavating and Construction LLC for the D Street Improvements Project.
Thank you. The chair to entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda items just read. Moved by Councillor Sweeney, seconded by Councillor Haskins. Madam City Manager, do you have anything to comment on any of these items?
Not this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Any abstentions or nay votes from the council? Okay, please cast your vote.
Oh. I'm gonna vote nay on 8A6.
Okay. You got that, Amanda?
Sorry, that was the next one.
Oh.
I also like the voting.
Okay.
There's a process, people. There's a process. Just kidding. Thank you. So with the nay votes noted, please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With councillors Haskins and Gamroth's nay votes noted and all others voting aye, the motion passes.
Thank you. Please read the consent minute action titles.
(9A1), authorizing the appointment of Megan Bratton to the Downtown Development Authority for a 4-year term ending on June 30th, 2029. 9A2, authorizing the purchase of 1 new manhole cutter for use by the Streets Division of the Public Services Department. 9A3, authorizing the purchase of 1 new 53-foot box van trailer for use by the Solid Waste Facility. 9A4, authorizing the purchase of 1 new drum-style hand-fed chipper for use by the Weed and Pest section of the Parks, Recreation, and Public Facilities Department. 9A5, authorizing the purchase of 1 new rear load sanitation truck for use by the Sanitation Division. 9A6, authorizing the purchase of 1 new aerator for use by the Athletics Division of the Parks, Recreation, and Public Facilities Department. And 9A7, authorizing the purchase of 1 new truck-mounted single-engine sewer cleaner for use by the Wastewater Collection Division of the Public Services Department.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent minute action agenda items just read. Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Councillor Bond. Any abstentions or nay votes? Please cast your vote. Please record the vote.
With all councillors voting aye, the motion passes.
Thank you. At this time, we ask councillors to bring forward any relevant concerns or items of interest they would like to share. Councillor Jensen, I'll start with you.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
And nothing.
Thank you. Councillor Bond.
Excuse me, Mayor. Not much to report this week. I did attend the Council for Safety and Justice meeting last week. And that's what all I had to report there. They're trying to, they're working on kind of reframing how they organize their system of work. And so that was largely the conversation for the the Safety and Justice group last week. So
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Larson.
I don't have anything.
All right. Thank you, sir. Councilor Haskins.
I don't have a whole lot. I attended a keynote speaker. I'm trying to see if I can remember his name. Trevor something. I'm sorry. Not helpful. Thank you. With some of the staff, it was a really good turnout. Super informative guy. He has an Instagram page that I didn't write that down either. So not helpful at all, but I went and learned something really great. I know I'm killing it.
Good.
If somebody else goes with that, if you could back me up, that'd be awesome.
Councilor Sweeney.
Thank you, Mayor. So last Tuesday was visit Casper. Good meeting. On the 27th, I attended the Community Action Partnership meeting that Dakota had invited us to, and judging from what I was told, that probably wasn't the right meeting that he intended for us to come to. And so I gather from others that they'll, when they're ready for us, will get a hold of us to come at that time. And I think they're at some point giving a presentation to council on some other things. On the 28th, I also attended the Trevor Reagan seminar, but no, because I'm not on social media. Otherwise, that would
It's a good thing,
rule
actually.
my total life. So
You're a healthier person because of
I'd
it.
rather people just take pot shots at me as they do, and I don't respond. So I thought it was very good and worth the time, and I think it's invaluable kind of training for our staff, and I thought it was very good. Also on that day, the Natrona County Health Trust had a collaborative meeting that they have been putting on and going to, and that's where I kind of found out that I was not at the right meeting the day before for the Community Action Partnership. So also, if you get a chance, I went to the opening of the new grief center through hospice. It turned out very, very good, and I think it'll be a much needed resource for grief counseling, and they're going to be doing some other things out of that building. And then attended that evening over at the library. Representative Campbell has she's been putting on collaboratively different sessions on government, and this one was on county government, and Commissioner North and Coates were both there, along with Tracy Good, our county clerk and district court. So that was very good. And this morning, the senior district had their monthly meeting, and they're moving right along and looking forward to October, November, and mostly December as far as tax revenues. So they had to basically borrow money to get things set up and going, and so that's going well. Other than that, I think that's about it, and I regret not thanking Jason's friends and also the food bank. I think you gave some great statistics, whether anybody listens or not, what the cuts, both Doge and the One Big Beautiful Bill, will be very impactful to Wyoming in the coming months and years to come, and affect a lot of lives. So in our county. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilor Gamroth.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank Greg Dixon and Melissa Huguet, right, for being in attendance this evening. Greg is the chair of our DDA board and Melissa is our new executive director. I imagine they were here in case we had any questions or statements to make about the appointment of our new board member. We didn't, but I appreciate them hanging out through the entirety of the meeting, as well as everyone else that showed up today. We had a good mix of folks kind of speaking to a variety of things, so I always like seeing that. Had a homelessness coalition task force meeting last Wednesday. A couple highlights from that meeting: parking enforcement has picked up significantly. So if you've not noticed it yet through your having been ticketed, please know there's a 2-hour time limit on every block during, mostly regular business hours, because we have a new community service officer watching that area. The police are using drones to monitor the river to address camping. There have been several, for lack of a better term, campsites that they've picked up, and using those drones gives them a lot, it's a lot more efficient way to kind of find that, so that they can send in kind of people on foot to engage with folks that might be setting up tents in prohibited areas. We discussed issues of folks experiencing homelessness calling 911 just to get an ambulance right to the hospital. Christy at the Natrona County Collective Health Trust reminded the group that there's still lots of resources available to provide lift rides for people in need. So I would say for any stakeholders or anyone that interacts with folks that are experiencing homelessness, please make sure they're aware of that resource so that they're not calling the ambulance unnecessarily to get a ride to the hospital. That's obviously a not cost efficient way to provide transportation around the community. There's other ways that actually have resources available. Kim at the Casper Housing Authority reported 480 applications they've recently received for subsidized housing. Only 22 qualified. I've brought this issue up before, the fact that there is a huge need of subsidized or affordable housing. However, very few people are qualifying for that. And so those other 458 people are going somewhere. Not sure where. She said it was largely in part due to debts owed to utility providers. So there's a number of things that prohibit you from getting federally funded housing vouchers, felony, current drug and substance use, but also back payments to utility providers. So, to me, this is indicative of kind of a larger trend. There's more and more people falling behind on the utilities, which makes it harder for them to receive affordable housing, which is going to be pushing people out of their homes. So it's just some worrying trends and statistics that are being reported by some of these folks in our community. Everyone is reporting more food insecurity, so I was very glad that we could make that proclamation tonight. And I'm very glad to have representatives from the food bank here this evening. They alluded to it earlier, but everybody that deals with food provision in our community is reporting more people and less resources. So I think I'd reported in the past that the rescue mission was seeing more and more people show up, not necessarily for shelter services, but just to get a meal. And again, I think that's indicative of larger trends as well, when people who can technically afford a roof over their head are having to show up to the mission to get their lunch. Salvation Army reported having 4 families recently seeking service in the past month that have over 10 people working in their household. So that's probably where some of those 458 people are going. They are all getting together and renting a place together and stacking 3 or 4 people to a room. The rescue mission reports 26% of residents being from outside Natrona County during their most recent monthly count, and 26% being from out of state. That is an increase of about 5 to 7% from last year. And no idea yet exactly why that may be the case, but certainly some of the larger cities are cracking down more on homelessness and stuff, and they're pushing the issues elsewhere. And so it's definitely a trend I'm watching closely. WBI is now seeing 4 to 5 times more people for detox services. Again, folks identifying as homeless than they used to. Natrona County Safety and Justice is having a summit November 4th through the 6th at the Best Western from 8:30 to 4:30. So if any of these topics pique your curiosity, I might encourage you to go to that summit. That covers the task force. And then just a couple events coming up. The Metropolitan Planning Organization is having a Safe Routes to School community event tomorrow, September 3rd, 4:30 to 6:30 at City Park off Center Street. So again, Metropolitan Planning Organization is in charge of all of our kind of transportation planning and study putting together. So if you want to contribute to Safe Routes to School, their community events tomorrow, 4:30 to 6:30 at City Park. Starting today, Metro went back to their regular operating hours of Monday through Saturday, 1 to 6. This Saturday, they'll also have their first family-friendly night at the shelter. It's a back-to-school event called Paws and Pencils. It's from 1 to 5. Again, Saturday night, there's going to be food trucks, activities, and all adoptions will be half off. And then this Sunday, Hogadon is hosting a Casper Mountain Mingle event from 12 to 6:30. Free admission for the event. There's also going to be food, drinks, and activities on site. So if you're looking for something to do, might encourage you to check out that one. They have another one coming up, I believe, on the 14th. That's all I have. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Nothing from me, sir. Thank you.
Just a couple items for me. One, it's in a couple weeks, but the 22nd annual Breaking the Silent Suicide Prevention Walk is going to be on Sunday, September 20th. It's been 22 years. I think it's an important aspect to talk since we are always in the top 1, 2 to 3 in the nation of suicide rates within young people and adults. So that's very sobering. And I think we need to continue to have that conversation and how we can work together as a community to begin preventing and working with individuals. Mental health access for a lot of individuals in Casper and around the country is limited. They either can't afford it or they don't have mental health care or health insurance. And so we're seeing that kind of what Councillor Gamroth was talking about is that we're seeing that trend as therapists and mental health providers, that we're seeing those types of trends happening. They don't have the access because they can't afford to go to counseling. We see that with our vulnerable population within the elderly, vulnerable populations with the homeless. So it is a relevant conversation that we should be talking as a community and how we can work together for that and create accessible mental health care for individuals, that it's widely available and it is affordable. Let's see, in the Oil City, there was a lovely, he's going to hate that I'm going to do this to him. You're shaking your head, Chief. There was a wonderful article about our Chief of Police. If you get a chance to read it, it basically just says the type of human being that he is and why I think the police department and the community adore him. If you look at any, again, this is Facebook, I'm sorry, but if you look at the comments, generally, you know, there's always negative comments about something. There is not one. It is nothing but a glowing how much they support and respect Chief Cheney. And that is, the byline is I listened and I cared. And that says volumes of the type of a human being you are. And we appreciate having you. Next council meeting, or the next meeting of the city council will be a work session to be held on Tuesday, September 9th at 4:30 p.m. and a regular council meeting to be held at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, September 16th. A notice of an executive session to take place at this date and during this meeting is given. We have a matter to discuss related to personnel. The chair would entertain a motion to adjourn to an executive session and at the conclusion of that executive session to reconvene this regular meeting solely for the purposes of adjournment of this regular meeting. Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Councillor Sweeney. There are a majority of councillors present and a motion to adjourn to an executive session has been moved and seconded. This motion requires a 2/3 majority of the council present. Please cast your vote.